So let's have a discussion around my most bullish altcoins for this bull run. My favorite altcoins will range in terms of multiples anywhere from a 5x up to a 50x and maybe even more. I'm going to tell you the ones that can do that. Of course, with that, more risk involved, but of course, I'm going to give you the safe picks as well and everything in between. If you're sick and tired of top 10 altcoin videos, of tier list videos that mention coins you've never heard of, or ones that you don't know if the person actually likes, this is most definitely a video for you. But before we start, I must ask an important favor. If you find yourself enjoying it, and that's all I ask, as long as you enjoy it, hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. It's going to make me quite happy. And trust me, once the bull run's ended, you'll be quite happy with the results as well. Let's begin. Number one, words of the wise. You as retail, as a regular person in crypto looking to make some money watching crypto content, great, go ahead and watch that content. But trust me, as someone who is in your position as well, be careful who you listen to. Okay, this is coming from me. I know you can throw all the comments down below saying, oh, hypocritical, or it's funny he's talking about himself. But take tier list videos and top 10 videos with a grain of salt. Don't, please, for the love of God, go to 10 videos or top 10 videos, pick the ones which they reckon will do the most multiples and buy those coins, okay? Do some research, and I'm saying this because I want the best for you, and it's the truth, rather than trying to secretly tell you all to buy the coins I'm going to mention today. Secondly, these coins are ones I've spent a lot of time researching for the most part, and are coins that are in very good positions for this bull run to take advantage of all the money that we've so far seen flow into different areas like AI, gaming, DePIN, modularity, layer 2s, layer 1s, DeFi, Oracle, and so on. So I've picked these carefully, and I've also ensured they're quite diverse. So basically, you don't want to copy this as a portfolio per se, but if you did, you're very diverse in that same respects. And again, importantly, you have to understand, guys, when I say, hey, Solana can 5x or whatever it may be, I don't mean Solana can 5x and you can get out at a 5x. When I have a price prediction or I show you a multiple, that's to the all-time high and back down again. It's not liquid. So what I mean by this is if I say, for example, with HBAR, right? If I'm like, well, HBAR's price prediction go up to $1.20. You can see over here, $1.20. What I'm saying is the price might go up, smash up like this, hit an all-time high, and then come back down again and maybe find support down here and do its thing. Okay, I'm not saying you should ever aim for the top price target. You should aim for something like down here where you can see we're getting out within what's called the green zone, which I talk about quite a lot on the channel and in the private community. Now, many of you are asking when I make these tier list videos or top 10 videos, Kyron, where's the current prices, right? You say Solana might 5x from today's price, but how do we know what today's price is? Well, here you go. I'm going to slowly scroll through this. I'm going to leave this watch list link down below so you can go ahead and look at it, but of course things change day by day. So as I scroll down, take a look at whatever coin, in the video, and then come back to this to see what the price was when I mentioned it can do a certain amount of multiples, and then you can have that for reference in the future. Now, in saying that as well, while I scroll, you have to understand, I might love a coin like Arbitrum today. Arbitrum might be a potential 50x, let's just say. But tomorrow, they might have an update that will screw the project over entirely, which will ultimately mean that my perception of the project has, my quality perception has decreased, which means that I don't think, in that case, the multiples can be quite as high. So again, let me just stress to you all, this is technically only valid as of today, but I would say for most of these coins, they should be quite good for a period of time. A prime example of this, as you'll see very soon, is HBAR. I had HBAR's price prediction much higher than what it currently is. This can change, of course, as I said, go up and down, but it's changed for a few very important reasons, as an example. So with that all being said, understand that, let's begin. Speaking from experience, I know you will absolutely hate when I go into detail with these coins because it does draw the video out. So I'm going to do my best to just briefly mention and try not to geek out here into the coin. So first of all, XLR. What do I think XLR can do? I think $15 or a 23x is definitely possible for this coin. It's in interoperability, so it's a cross-chain project that's competing with the likes of Wormhole, Layer 0, and so on. But ultimately, guys, it's also working on focusing into Web 2. So it's trying to pretty much bring in tokenization as well. So as the bull run matures, I think XLR will mature into another narrative as well, which should give it some more props. It might even go higher than a 23x or $15, but that's sort of my conservative-ish price prediction for the coin currently. Next, we have a meme coin here called Foxy. I haven't really spoken about Foxy all that much on YouTube, but I do speak about it quite a lot on Twitter. This coin I do hold, as do I hold XLR currently. And this coin I think can probably go to max of maybe 200 mil market cap, which is about a 10 to 15x from the current price. I'm going to put it down here, but as you guys know, this coin can do a lot more. I am just not overly bullish on meme coins. And as you can see here, this is the only meme coin I currently hold in my portfolio. So with that said, it's probably one of the best meme coins. It's the mascot of the Linear network. So the multiples here are underpinned by the success of Linear. And that's one of the main drawbacks of it. Otherwise, I could definitely see it doing a lot more. Now, Jito, I think, can definitely do around about a high teen, maybe even low 20s-ish multiple from the current price. This is a liquid restake token, very similar to Lido for Ethereum, but for Solana, I think this has crushed its competition, which is Marinade, which I was once bullish on, and these guys I now believe will be one of the main LST tokens, projects at least, of the Solana ecosystem. Now, while I do have your attention at the very start, I want to make a very important point I almost forgot before, which was, guys, if you've seen my top 10 videos before and wondered to yourself, well, Kyron, why do you range your different coins on these top 10 videos? Well, it's for a very good reason. So if you're watching these top 10 videos from myself at least, and you're like, well, why did they talk about PYTH being a top 10 coin this month and next month it's not on the list? Where is it? It's all given with context, okay? So I thought I'd better mention that as well, because one of the main reasons why I wanted to make this video was because people don't actually know what coins I truly do like, because it can change from video to video. So Aerodrome, I think, is a nice 15x as well. So I'm going to put it next to Jito. I think $15 is definitely possible for this coin. Now, this is one of the very few projects I would probably consider moving up a little bit. But I think that as of right now, $15 and 15x is right bang on the money. Now, HiveMapper is currently about 180 million market cap. It's a DePIN project on Solana. I had a great conversation with some guys at one of the after parties at Token 2049 in Singapore recently. And ultimately, I think that HiveMapper is a really good long-term play regardless of how it does this cycle. Not only because it's DePIN, it's mapping the world, guys. And this is so important because it's honestly the true definition of DePIN. But when you buy the actual little camera to map and survey the ground, this is actually double serving as a dash cam, right, for accidents and so on. So you're earning honey tokens back while mapping the ground, which has an edge over the competitors, basically. So no matter what happens to crypto, at least people will want to buy this still because they're somewhat receiving something in return, no matter what. So I think for this cycle, honestly, I would probably say it deserves a high teens. But because it's such a low market cap, it would not surprise me at all if it's a low 20 mil market caps as well. I think it just needs to hit the marketing a little bit heavier, and it should take off quite well. Next is Aether. Aether is honestly the de facto AI/DePIN infrastructure play of the Bullrun, right? Very low market cap. This coin, I think, is very undervalued right now. I had a great conversation recently with the House of Crypto on a Token 2049 panel where we spoke a little bit, well, he spoke actually about Aether and how it's currently pretty much the infrastructure for everything right now, and it's generating insane revenue. So in my personal opinion, this has got a lot to move up still. The low float, high supply is scaring people, but again, it's how you interpret that, not necessarily always bad. I think $1.50 or about a 23x is definitely possible for Aether. Next is Fala. Fala is, again, a very small micro cap coin. We're hitting the micro caps here. 100 mil market cap, so very, very small. But this coin hits a lot of different areas, right? So it hits AI, DePIN, modularity, Web3 layer 1, data availability. I mean, it hits a whole bunch more as well. Off-chain computation, ZKPs, it hits it all. It's honestly a powerhouse. So I think this coin could 40x. It's about a 4 billion market cap, okay? Which I think for the type of quality of the coin is possible. Go check Fala out. If not, guys, again, none of this is advertised. I'm just saying these are the coins I love, okay? So next is Goldfinch. You guys know I love Goldfinch. Real-world asset tokenization. Essentially, it's a mini Ondo Finance. I think $70 or a 30x is very possible for this coin. I know other influencers are saying over $100. I wouldn't go that far, but I definitely think a 30x, low 30s is on the cards for sure for the price prediction. Next up is Synesis One. Straight up, this coin I think can 50x. Synesis One hits AI. It's trained to earn. So essentially you go in there and you train AI models for businesses, basically wanting to have a more of a human-based response to their models rather than like giving it a whole bunch of data to learn from. You actually give it like human commands basically, and we go in there and type in. So I think given the play to earn narrative of the last bull run that took off quite well, this is going to do quite interesting. It's also hitting gaming as well, so you can actually play games to train AI models, get paid for that, as well as it's backed by like 5 or 6 S-tier class investors. So S-tier investors aren't always an indication the project will do well, but it is a good sign to see. Okay, so I think this coin can do over a 50x for sure. Manta, I think, can still reach $20. These guys have a really good team behind them. They're lacking a little bit. They're a bit down, but that's only because it's a new project. When it launched, it was super bad timing as well. They had big unlocks regarding their bonding and that Manta paradigm sort of campaign that they were running. But they're falling quite low, but I think they will come back up quite quickly here, which they are already showing. They're, I think, around $1 already. And so I think $20 is definitely possible, which is about a 21, 22x from the current price. Next up is Solana. All right, I'm not going to waste any time here, guys. I think this coin can likely do a 5-ish x. I think $650 is a decent prediction. Currently, that's about a 5x. But some people are suspecting over $1,000. I mean, personally, I would be a little bit more conservative with that. It would have to be quite a large market cap project for that to actually occur. So we'll see. They do have a great deep-in ecosystem nevertheless. Avalanche, I think a really, really good project for the Bullrun. They recently had, I think, Avalanche 9000, where they're pretty much allowing anyone to now spin up their own instantly connected and highly secure layer 1 project, okay? So they're pretty much a layer 0 at this point, like Polkadot is, and I think there's a lot to still come from this. I mean, these guys hit tokenization quite well, believe it or not. A lot of people don't know that. So I think around $400, or give or take a 14x, is possible for Avalanche here as a smaller market cap layer 1 alternative to the likes of Solana. Now, Polkadot is a layer 0. These guys are doing a lot, and I mean a lot, right? If the longer the bull run goes, the better it is for Polkadot. They got so many upgrades coming out, so many quality upgrades, that the project is only going to be getting better, okay? So I think around $75 or a 16x is definitely possible for Polkadot. So what about Chainlink? Well, I think $200 or a 16x, just like Polkadot, is definitely on the cards here. I mean, you can't ignore what Chainlink is doing. They're not just an oracle anymore. They're also doing interoperability, right? CCIP has allowed them to be highly connected and used as pretty much a base for cross-chain applications. They're also doing tokenization. They're working with massive Web2 companies. Without Chainlink, it's pretty much like USDT collapsing. The market's screwed, right? So we definitely need the project. As for Near Protocol, these guys are moving now more into AI regarding, developing it on the actual project itself, heavily, focused around account abstraction. Before this, they were kind of like using the AI narrative with just what they call near tasks, which is pretty much just that, hey, can I hire you out for what I'm developing here as an AI developer and so on. So it was more like a marketplace, if you will. In my mind, it can be more than this, but I think $80 or a 15x is definitely reasonable for the coin. As a top side, again, I think it can go over $100, but we just need to be a little bit patient here, less hyper bullish. ICP, this as well as HBAR is like my two top favorite projects of all time. I think $180 or a 19x, I'm going to put it actually in the 20x column, is where I think it could go to on the high side. It's been proven to be very reactive to this bull run and heavily involved in AI, deep in interoperability, so on, right? It's a Web3 layer 1 project at its core. Now, ASI is the next coin here. This is interesting, right? They actually added another project to their, let's just call it a consortium, if you will. Okay, the Alliance, which I believe is Kudos Network, a much smaller project. And now they have 4 projects as part of this alliance. So they have SingularityNet, Fetch, Ocean Protocol, and Kudos. So this might actually expand even more to other AI projects, which is great for us because less competition and a better overall product. So a lot of people are bullish on ASI, as am I. Market cap $4 billion right now. Many people suspect this to be the number 1 AI coin overall for this bull run. So they have most of their tokens already circulating, which is good news for us, of course. There's no so-called dilution. And so in this case, I think the coin can go to $25 or around a 15x from here as well. Okay, so again, these coins can do more. I'm more so giving my price prediction a little bit conservatively to be careful here. Of course, price predictions are very dangerous in that no one knows what's going to happen. These coins might do 50% more than these predictions. They might do 50% less than these predictions. So this really is a shot in the dark here. I'm just trying to gauge what I so far think they can do and what their future market cap would actually look like at that point in time. So a coin I'm really bullish on recently is Injective. These guys have a great burn mechanism. They burn weekly Injective tokens in an auction model. Super unique, super novel, and they're sort of like the go-to DeFi layer 1 of the entire crypto space, in my opinion. I think Sai is up there as well, but nevertheless, very bullish. So I think $500 or a 21x is more than reasonable here for Injective. The market cap is quite low, and I think DeFi is a very, very big narrative and will be a big narrative of the bull run. Optimism, actually, we'll talk about Optimism and Arbitrum at the same time. I'm actually more bullish on Optimism than Arbitrum, to be honest with you guys. Reason being is because a lot of projects are using the Optimism stack to build on, like Sony's new blockchain Sonium and a whole bunch of others as well, like Base is built on it as well. And what this all means is that the superchain, these connected layer 2s, all have to have governance pass through the Optimism token, and they actually burn the Optimism token through the process. So very bullish for the price of Optimism, in my opinion. The more it's used, the bigger the superchain networks grow, the better it is for the price. Alternatively, Arbitrum has Arbitrum Nova, which is like, again, same sort of thing here, but mainly suited towards layer 3s. I think it's great. Don't get me wrong. I think it's great. But I think Optimism is a very clear winner here because so many people are looking to actually build with it over Arbitrum. So that puts Optimism at about a $25 token, which is a 14x in my opinion, and very close behind it. I would say Arbitrum would probably go to about $8-ish, which is about a 13x from here. So much of a muchness. Like really, like we can't argue over that. But I do think that if anything, Optimism does have a bit more room to still grow. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am wrong. So we'll have to see as the bull run plays out and take our bets. Now, HBAR, as I mentioned earlier on, this coin's multiples has decreased. I think I had it at about $1.50 at a given point in time. And there's been a few unfortunate situations that have come out. And like I said, HBAR is like right next to ICP as my #1 all-time favorite project. I will be bringing out more HBAR content, but I'm here to make money. I'm honest with myself, and therefore I have to be honest with you. And I think HBAR's velocity has, I think, dropped since we last did a price prediction on HBAR, given what I know and, again, given what the circumstances are. So I think that we're going to probably see a 90-cent token all-time high for this coin, which is still a very good 15x, as a matter of fact. So we can't complain about that, or at least I can't complain about that. Wouldn't surprise me if the price actually went to $700. Okay, so it's quite a bit off now. This is definitely on the higher side, I do think, which is a 30x, again, high side. But these guys are doing a lot of stuff that I recently wasn't aware of, okay? I've done some more research on Arweave. I'm really, really impressed with this project, and I think it's got a lot of room to grow. So I think $700 is definitely on the high side. I don't see me pushing that up any further. I think, if anything, bringing that down as time progresses. But so far, I'm happy with what I see. So if I'm bullish, I'm bullish. Celestia, I actually think can go to $150, which, believe it or not, is about a 22, 23x. Now, I do think it can actually go to this. There's a big unlock happening here, like within the coming days. We'll see how it progresses. But they have had recently a new funding round, but $100 million raised at a pretty high valuation, which is good for us. So this actually might be very good for Celestia, and possibly, depending on how they've broken it up, they haven't been too clear on that so far, could be very, very bullish for us indeed. Alternatively, it could also be very bad for us. So I need to do more research into it, but at the current standing, I think $150 for TR is reasonable. In my opinion, if you aren't in data availability, which is what Celestia hits, modularity, I think you need to at least have one coin in this area. So Celestia is, in my opinion, my go-to pick. We also have Eigenlayer coming up here soon as well for kind of like liquid restaking, if you will. And they'll be offering similar options like Celestia, but in my opinion, I think Celestia will definitely dominate this particular market. Next up is PYTH. These guys are an Oracle. They directly compete with a Chainlink, and I believe they've taken up a significant amount of the market share recently, monopolized by Chainlink with the Oracle side of things. They're also the de facto Oracle of Solana. So if you're bullish on Solana Eco, you have to be bullish on PYTH. And these guys are doing a lot. High total value secured so far. And if you have a look at their stats, everything's going up quite rapidly as well. So again, this is my Oracle pick for the bull run. Personally speaking, I think at 20x or so, even more is possible. So around a $7 token. Ondo, real world asset tokenization, if you will. It's kind of gotten the headlines a lot because it's working with BlackRock. I think a $14 token or around a 17x is definitely possible for this coin. So I'm going to put it right next to HBAR over here. It might surprise some of you guys, but I do think that this coin, given the sort of false nature of this low float, high supply stuff, this high FDV, let's just call it bull crap in crypto right now, is preventing people from seeing that actually occurring. If you look into it, again, it's not as bad as what it seems to be, okay? Next up is Beam, where we see a gaming coin. I think this coin has a lot of room to still grow, heavily dependent, I believe, on how Avalanche performs. It's an infrastructure, it's a subnet, if you will, on Avalanche. So depending on how it does and gaming does, I think that this coin will do quite well. It's a direct competitor to IMX. We'll talk about these guys next as well. But I think a 40-cent token on the top side, which is about a 22x currently, is possible. But again, that does depend on how Avalanche does perform and its competitor over here. They actually are working together. They have, I think, a bridge happening right now for different games, which is IMX. One of my personal plays for the Bullrun regarding gaming infrastructure. This coin might surprise you in my price prediction. I think $35 or a 19x is possible here, so just beneath Beam. Even a market cap is significantly higher than Beam. So Beam's currently at about a 900 mil market cap, whereas if we come up here, Immutable's at 3 billion market cap. But that's only because Immutable is much more known than Beam is. That may change, of course. Happy to be wrong. But I think as of right now, as it stands, that's sort of what I'm seeing. Now, Akash is a obviously AI decentralized infrastructure project providing GPU marketplace and GPUs on a marketplace for anyone to rent out. In my opinion, $70 or around a 24x is where I'm looking at for Akash. Next is Flux. Now, Flux is one of my all-time favorite projects. Very small cap. I think right now, if I scroll down here, it's a really tiny project, right? 200 mil market cap. These guys are hitting AI, Deepin, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Proof of work. They're a fairly mined project like Bitcoin, and they're very energy efficient. These guys are actually doing a lot of things better than their main competitors like ICP, which are much higher market cap, and Awi, for example, and cheaper. Not everything is better, but they're working towards that, and they're doing a lot of upgrades right now, guys. These people are moving quick. Now, in saying that as well, the marketing probably could be better, but they are working hard on that. I can see that, and I talk about them quite a lot on Twitter. Helium, Deepin project, obviously on Solana. These guys have always historically focused on, mobile networks. They have pretty good coverage, but they're now entering, well, they have entered for quite a while, IoT. So information of things, connecting your phone and your watch, the data, to be sold off for your own benefit, of course. So it tracks everything. I think a $100 token or a 13x is possible. This can definitely increase for this coin. It probably is a little bit of ignorance on my part. I haven't done a lot of research into the fundamentals of Helium for a while, but so that obviously means it might change. But I'm trying to be open about that, of course. Most of these coins, if not all of these coins, besides the likes of Helium, I've done a lot more research on in that respect as well. Now, Flare is a very, very powerful coin. So Web3, layer 1 altcoin, but it bakes in oracles, it bakes in cross-chain interoperability, it bakes in security for bridges, it bakes in a lot of stuff that you'll have to usually offload to smart contracts or other businesses like PYTH, like Chainlink, but it bakes it all into layer 1. So it's very safe, very secure, very trustworthy. So this coin, I think, is going to shock a lot of people this bull run, because of just what it is and what it offers for developers. It's huge. So while it is a 700 mil market cap, I can see a world in which it goes to about a 40-cent token, which is about a 26x from the current price. So yes, I think it can, on the high side, do some pretty crazy multiples here. Now, Wormhole is a direct competitor, of course, to the likes of Axelar, but these guys mainly focused here on the Solana ecosystem. It's like the in and out of the Solana eco. And it also is branching out to other areas as well. It's got a pretty big ecosystem so far. Is it a better project than the likes of Layer Zero? I'm not too sure. I'll mention Layer Zero here momentarily. But give everything, I personally have invested a lot in Wormhole. And I think, again, given the team and the team's experience in Web3, I think it's going to do quite well. So $5 or an 18x is definitely possible. And second last, but second not least, we have Mina. Mina is a ZKP, Layer 1. The beautiful part about this coin is it's a 22 kilobyte in size permanent blockchain. The way it does this is by basically, if you consider a blockchain as a series of blocks, takes a snapshot, like a photo of the previous block, and then the next block takes a snapshot of that previous block, which is a photo of the previous block. So it's a constant photo, and that's why it's able to remain such a small-sized blockchain, which means it's truly won't bloat. It won't get slow over time, okay? So it's a very, very unique project. They just launched a massive update allowing people to build applications on top right in time for the bull run. I think a $15 token or about a 28x is definitely on the cards for Mina. I can probably even put it here. Actually, I will put it here. I think 28x is possible, $15, but I do think that this coin can go above $15, to be quite honest with you. I think $15 is like a conservative price prediction. We will see, though. We will see. And last but not least, we have Layer Zero, right? Pretty much the same market cap as Axelar. They're both a little bit less than Wormhole, but I do think that Layer Zero has a lot of probably even arguably better properties than both of those two projects regarding Web3 cross-chain. But again, it's semantics at this point in time. They're all very similar. I just chose Wormhole because it mainly hits the Solana ecosystem, which I believe will be high traffic basically. But I think Layer Zero, very similar multiples. $80 or a 17x is what I'm looking for here. So much of a muchness with these. I think Axelar might actually do a little bit more than both of them just because it's also hitting Web 2. Again, in tokenization, we'll have to see. They're all very, very similar in my opinion. So thanks for watching this video. So not only are these coins all ones that I either am interested in buying or do own currently, they're coins that I'm kind of expecting these multiples out of, at least on the top side. I'm not looking to get out there. Like I said, I'm getting out about 35% cheaper at max on all these price predictions to ensure I'm exiting where there's liquidity still in the market. You don't want to be the person who's holding for eternity, hodling. You want to be making sure you take some money out of the market, all right? We want to show something for our hard work. Thanks, guys. Talk to you all soon. Take good care. Bye-bye.